Take this cover off. We have to take the oil fill cap off first and grab the cover and just pull up and put the fill cap back on just so nothing falls in there. Disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. Use a 10mm socket. Loosen that up and slide that off. Take these two bolts out. Use a 17mm socket. Disconnect the connector for the O2 sensor right there. Just pull that safety off and then disconnect the connector. Now this may be attached to the engine right there. Just either pry that up. This one's broken, or it slides right off if you need to. Now you can use an O2 sensor socket or a 7/8 wrench and take the O2 sensor out. Loosen it up and take it out. Disconnect this O2 sensor, same as below. Just pull that safety off and then disconnect the connector. And we can take the O2 sensor out. It's a little easier to use an O2 sensor socket up here, or you can use a wrench. Loosen that up and take it out. Now I'm going to remove these nuts. I'm going to use a 15mm socket. First I'll loosen them up by hand and then zing them right off. Oh, this one took the stud out, that's okay. Then when you go to take the last one out, just grab the converter. Just prevent it from falling. And you can slide it right out. Take the gasket off, and you could take a razor blade if there's any pieces of gasket, or even a rag, and just wipe it down. Make sure it's nice and clean. This looks pretty good. Take the new gasket and line it up. Only goes on one way. And I'll slide the new converter in position. Put the nuts on. And the stud nut that came out. When you're tightening this down, you want to make sure that you hold the converter all the way on so that it doesn't get stuck on the stud. There's a little lip on the stud itself, so make sure it looks like it's flush. Now I'll go along and torque these to 15 foot-pounds for the first pass. And the final pass would be 34 foot-pounds. Now we can put the O2 sensor back in. Now if you can get a torque wrench in there, just torque this to 31 foot-pounds. And connect the wire. And lock it down. And if you have to, you can wire tie the excess wire, if there is excess wire. And take the lower O2 sensor and install that. And tighten this down. If you can get a torque wrench on there, torque that to 31 foot-pounds. And connect the connector. And put that lock in there. Now take the old exhaust gasket off. Make sure that's, if you have to, you can scrape it off. This one looks okay. Put the new gasket on. And you want to get some new nuts and bolts. Line this up. Get that started. And tighten these down. And connect the negative battery terminal. Just snug it down, make sure it's tight. And reinstall the engine cover. Take the cap off again. Line this up. Lock it down, put the oil cap back on.